Hello there everybody, Fast the LEGO Studios here, and welcome back guys to week number 4 of building up a LEGO life-sized Captain Rex sculpture. Let's jump right into it. Alright guys, and diving right the way into this week's episode, it is good to be back in building Captain Rex. We have finally got the Bricklink order to be continuing this build. As you guys know, previous episode here, I've just about run out of these LEGO plates going right the way down here. In particular, those plates are 1x3s, 1x2s, 1x1s, and corner plates. Those 4 types of LEGO pieces are extremely crucial when it comes to building this part of the helmet, or really any other part of this entire helmet. So without them, the entire helmet is essentially impossible to build. So finally got those in, and should be continuing the LEGO construction in this week's episode. Other things go is to kind of continue upon refining this area here. Last week's episode, we built up a little bit more of it, as you guys know, kind of finished off the wall, but this week's episode, we're going to be kind of continuing upon finishing this off, making it a lot smoother looking, and all of that there. So that is all planned for this week's episode, but other things go is, just as I said before, kind of finishing off building all of this here. This side is really left untouched at the moment, and really could use a lot more building. But then as we continue turning the model, you guys can see that towards the back side, there's not even a single white LEGO piece placed here. We're really going to be needing to continue upon building this area and kind of at least start it and see where it would take me from there on out. But with all that being considered, guys, let's roll the updates. Alright guys, and diving right the way into progress update number 1 here, you guys can see that a lot of things have changed since the very last clip. First off is I've taken apart the entire previous Captain Rex helmet and placed it all into this bin here. And my 2 major reasons why I went ahead and did that is simply because the previous model of the Captain Rex helmet was all a rough draft. I just wanted to get an idea of the scale of the creation, and given that scale, how much detail am I able to incorporate into the build. And second off is the entire Captain Rex helmet and the entire Captain Rex sculpture will all be glued together. What you guys see in front of you right here, this and this piece, is already all nice and glued together. It's not coming apart anytime soon. And my biggest reason towards why I'm going to be gluing this entire creation together is because as the build gets larger and larger, the entire creation gets much flimsier and flimsier. As I experienced with the life-sized LEGO Spider-Man sculpture, after week 7 he started falling apart way too easily, so to prevent any of that from happening, I'll be gluing this entire creation together. But with all that being in mind, guys, let's jump into the time lapse and continue building up Captain Rex. Alright guys, and taking a closer look at Captain Rex's helmet here after the time lapse, you guys can see that a lot of the building going all the way around is plates. And that kind of is why the build is quite minimally built here, but nonetheless, that is really the biggest reason towards why this build takes quite a while to put together. You guys can see that right about here, there are a couple of bricks being placed, but those are just filler bricks in between the hundreds and hundreds of plates kind of mixed into the build. Underneath, you guys get a much better idea of what I'm talking about here, as all the plates make up a lot of the nice fine curvature and making all the very nice edges look a lot more smoothened and just making it look a lot nicer in the end result. Other things go is you guys can see the weld pattern that I've integrated into the build here. On the previous helmet, I kind of skipped out on this, but finally got to doing it on this one, and it's looking quite nice so far. And just kind of taking a closer look over onto that weld pattern from the side view, is you guys can see that it's just about running diagonal from this point forth, and soon enough I'll be getting even more of these medium blue Lego pieces in, especially plates, to kind of continue all of that there. For now, this is all the kind of blue that I have, so very minimal at the moment, but soon enough I'll have a bricklink order coming in, so next week's episode, hopefully by then, that order arrives so I can continue upon building the weld pattern. And up on the front here, you guys can see the respirators, I believe they are. I've changed out the design just about slightly. Previously, these were specialized Lego curved pieces, just curved Lego elements going right the way across here. I've changed them out from this design here, as you guys can see, just picking one of these up. I've changed it out from being one of these and turned it basically into just a brick-built model going from here on out. Reason being is because I wanted to integrate it a little bit better with the rest of the creation. So kind of getting all the bricks and plates kind of integrated with the rest makes it very seamless flowing and makes it a lot nicer in the end result. And finally, right the way up top here, you guys probably are asking me, why is Captain Rex's helmet's neck hole just a little bit small? And my reason behind that is simply because as you guys see from the Clone Wars Season 7, in Episode 12, that's when the Captain Rex's helmet is shown from the bottom side up. And when it is, you guys can see that the neck hole itself is quite small, and I don't know how he puts it on, but this, in comparison, this is as accurate of a Lego interpretation of Captain Rex's helmet that you guys can get. So this is 100% accurate, and nothing is being compromised whatsoever. But with all that being in mind, let's dive into the next update and continue building up Captain Rex. Alright guys, and diving into the last update of the week here, you guys can see that I've added on a couple more bricks all the way around the model. Starting off with the front, I've added on a little bit more bricks of height. In the end, I'm just kind of finishing off the curvature here, just about up here, and very slowly but surely just kind of slanting it in this way. Very soon, hopefully by next week's episode, I get all of that filled in. I've done that on either side of the build, kind of keeping a symmetry on either side as I go. That's really the one thing that I majorly lacked with the previous version of the helmet. But I've tried to focus on, once again, is the back of the helmet. Taking a closer look at it, you guys can see that I've added on a couple more layers of plates, and in the end, just kind of extending it out further, making that curvature of the bottom rim look really nice. You guys can see a little bit of that definition off better on the bottom, but I'm really happy with the results so far. Definitely a lot of refinements have been done in this week's episode, and I think we accomplished our goal really solidly, and solidly in terms of not only this model being extremely solid, but solid as in we've really reached it really nicely, and I think it's time to outro out the video. And there we are, guys, at the end of building up Captain Rex for week number 4. We have finally moved away from the previous rough draft version of his helmet and moved to this much better one, the glued version of the helmet. Making much more improvements between the two versions. I definitely see a little bit more improvement that I want to make, and kind of making all the curves look a lot finer, getting all the more details, more nicer finishes all the way throughout. My essential goal here between this one is to make it LEGOLAND quality, so that is all for the future plans. But speaking of future plans, next week's episode, I'm hoping to kind of expand upon what we have going on here. Kind of build out a little bit more of the back of the build, get the front all nice and finished off, and see what kind of progress I can make from there on out. As well as I'm hoping to get my bricklink order in next week to kind of continue that weld pattern running up the side of the face. So that is all kind of planned for next week's episode. Hopefully that all kind of lines up just about perfectly so I can make all of that happen. But with all of that being considered, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and comment down below in the comment section of what are your guys' thoughts on this final version of Captain Rex's helmet. But with all of that being said, keep on building, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.